Hi everyone, my name is Danielle McClure, and today I will be discussing work-life balance. Did you know that 7 out of 10 American workers struggle to achieve an acceptable balance between work and family life? Today, the workplace for Americans is often described as being fast-paced, although only offering fewer resources to help with the heavier workload. On top of a busy work schedule, the pressure to lead a normal life at home is very prevalent. The topic following work-life balance can create multiple views between individuals that try to manage life at home, spending time with their kids and family, or simply having a vacation day to travel or relax. For obvious reasons, in today's society, this is the most common aspect for hardworking Americans that they stress over. They are challenged with 40 plus hours a week for their career while also trying to find time to consume their social and home life. So today, I am going to discuss the current research on this topic. Then, I'm going to talk about my recent interview that I conducted with my sister Morgan Bischoff. And then I'm going to discuss the possible solutions I have proposed to help individuals balancing work and home life. And then lastly, I'm going to explain why this is an important issue for someone entering the workforce today. So now that I have given a brief overview, let's get started with discussing what outside research says about work-life balance. In an article I found, Karen Albertson stated, within the last 10 years, work-life balance issues has increased in the recent literature. Long work hours, overtime, and shift work have been found to be associated with lower work-life balance, and part-time work and influence on one's own schedules have been found to be associated with better balance. Companies who gain a reputation for encouraging work-life balance has become very attractive to workers and will draw a valuable pool of candidates of new job openings. These companies also tend to enjoy higher employee retention rates, which result in less time-consuming training, more loyalty, and a higher degree of in-house expertise. Studies have shown that employees who have a positive work-life balance do a better job at work, so promoting this balance is beneficial to individuals and the company. This is a practical guide for employers who want to promote a healthy work-life balance for their teams. So next, I am going to discuss the interview that I conducted with my sister Morgan. But before presenting the questions for this interview, I provided Morgan with some background information of the research I conducted, and I stated a brief description of exactly what work-life balance means. So to gain a better understanding of Morgan's perspective of this concept at hand, I asked for her opinion of an ideal workplace balance scenario. She claimed, in a perfect world, my work-life balance would consist of ample amounts of PTO, paid time off, time, and a flexible schedule not exceeding 40 hours, no weekends or holidays required. While this is definitely the situation for many individuals see themselves wanting, many of them often are found from working at home, even on the weekends and on holidays. I then asked Morgan how important she believes this concept is and what exactly has influenced how she values work-life balance. She said, work-life balance is super important. I have witnessed too many people, including friends and family members, who work their lives away and never have the time to spend the money they are making. From these statements, it proves how vital this topic is. Morgan went on to explain the 3 years she spent at Cincinnati Children's Hospital prior to applying to Ivy Tech, where she is currently employed. She claimed that she loved working there in the hours, but after time it was a complete burnout. The hospital had a poor time off policy, which resulted in her having a poor work-life balance. Working weekends in any position can be difficult to manage, especially when these individuals are missing out on extracurricular activities. After 3 years of her managers not wanting to work with her, she decided to leave the hospital, where she then became employed at Ivy Tech Community College, where she works now. Morgan went on to tell me how she has benefited from this position by receiving freedom and balancing to maintain work life, social life, and family life. From working at the hospital to now a local campus, her work-life balance has increased positively. Her managers at Ivy Tech are much more supportive about her life outside of work, whereas the hospital, not so much. Realizing the kind of lifestyle you want to work may be more difficult, but once it is created, life will become less stressful. From Morgan's perspective, we can view her job experiences to prove the balancing work and home life. So now that I have discussed my interview with Morgan and her issues of balancing work life, I came up with some possible solutions. So some possible solutions that I am going to suggest to you guys is creating a better work environment. The work environment should be worth the time, money, and health for the individuals between their work and social life. Then, ensuring work life and home life is benefiting their people. If someone enjoys their position at work, there is a higher likelihood that this individual goes home looking forward to their social life with friends and family. And lastly, another solution is including time off to be spent with family. This is the last solution that organizations need to include for their employees is time off with family, because in this generation it is a significant aspect, especially on holidays. Employers do have options to be a part of the solution and not part of the problems by offering alternatives for employees who need flexibility and options. So now that I've discussed some possible solutions, I'm going to talk about why this is important for Americans who are entering the workforce. Like me, I am graduating in a couple of weeks and will be entering the workforce. For me and most college graduates, we do not have our own families yet, and we have less responsibilities. So I feel it would be easy for us to get lost in work and forget to take time for ourselves and still have fun and enjoy life. So a few tips I would suggest for those of you that are going to be entering the workforce is set your priorities, track your time, concentrate on one thing at a time, and be sure to respect your private time. And also, something that you might not think is very important but you need to get plenty of exercise, because that relieves a bunch of stress. And then the last tip that I'm going to provide you is set boundaries between work and home life. This is the key, I think, problem that most Americans don't realize, is that when they come home, they need to not be getting on their computer and checking emails. They need to be able to set a boundary to where when they're at work, they're working, and when they're at home, they're enjoying their home life. So in conclusion, today I have talked about the research I have found, discussed my interview with my sister Morgan Bischoff, and then suggested possible solutions to this concept. And lastly, I talked about the importance of work-life balance for someone who is entering the workforce like myself. So I'm going to leave you with this. Overworking the body and mind creates various levels of stress. Many individuals are doing things to maintain their job, home, and family, making their life more difficult to manage than it should be. Organizations need to put this idea into consideration for the health of their current employees to ensure the work life and home life is benefiting their people. Once this is accomplished, the company will see a difference by simply making their employees less stressed and creating a happier environment to get the job done. Thank you, everyone.